Answer properly. Oh, okay. Normal space ah. I mean pace. Do I have to say it out? Oh, okay. The north wind and the sun were disputing which was the stronger when a traveller came along wrapped in a warm cloak. They agreed that the one who first succeeded in making the traveller take his cloak off should be considered stronger than the other. Then the north wind blew as hard as he could, but the more he blew, the more closely did the traveller fold his cloak around him. And at last the north wind gave up the attempt and the sun shined out warmly, and immediately the traveller took off his cloak. And so the north wind was obliged to confess that the sun was the stronger of the two. No. What interesting. Right on. Mm, what's the moral? Uh, actually, I don't see the moral of the story. It's more like the temperature. Like, okay, like what I understand is that between like weather. For me, there's no moral at all. Because it's just weather. Cause um, it was is in a colder temperature and a warmer temperature, right? They just wanna see which which of these two temperature would make a person take off the cloak. Something like that. Okay, but that's what I think, because like it's just it's just the idea the idea about weather. That's all I think. That's so weird. Okay. New chapter. I'd have to read the title. Okay. A tripartite standard to promote best practices in media freelancing industry has been set up. The Infocom Media Development Authority (IMDA) announced on Wednesday, November 29, the new tripartite standard on the procurement of services from media freelancers was launched by Senior Minister of State for Communications and Information Chee Hong Tat at the opening of the Asia TV Forum and Market and Screen Singapore 2017, part of the Singapore Media Festival. It aims to encourage fair and progressive workplaces to better support media freelancers. From April 1st next year, companies looking for IMDA media grants and funding for public service broadcast content must adapt the tripartite standard, which focuses on four key areas. First, companies have to provide freelancers with written contracts to ensure both parties have a common understanding of the service and payment. Second, the companies also have to adhere to the payment milestones according to the terms that were agreed upon. Third, should any dispute arise, mediation should be the first course of action. IMDA provides subsidies for such services in partnership with Singapore Mediation Centre. Lastly, companies should offer freelancers workplace protection with insurance for production equipment, commercial general liability, and work-related accidents. Mr. Chi also announced partnerships between IMDA and media industry players both locally and globally. This will present local talent with opportunities to boost their skills and create content for a global audience as well as digital platforms. Yeah. Mm, under media, no. Freelance job, actually still no. I've done actually one with NUS and NTU. Actually, more of NUS students because my brother knows some of them, and then they were doing a small research on the. Hold on, let me think. It was something to do with the history of Jalan Kubur. It's near Arab Street, so there was a there was a graveyard there, which they actually want to move the graveyard. But first they have to gather their research, gather some history there Cause the tombstones were belong to the first few royalties that was in Singapore, and their tombstone are in Sanskrit. So what I had to do was just went around the cemetery, take photos, and there is this equipment that I have that I have to just poke around the area to set in the GPS. So it was quite cool lah. And then they will map out the whole graveyard and then put in 3D. But I don't know what happened to the graveyard now. Yeah. So actually there was a not really a contract, but my brother told me like I come here work for maybe 2 months or 3 months because they were working in the area for quite a long time. That's all. Robertson Quay Hotel M Social Singapore has is Quay or Key? Okay. Singapore has picked up 2 awards at the International Data Corporation Digital Transformation Awards 2017 for introducing a delivery robot in its hotel. Parent company Hong Leong Group announced on Tuesday, November 28. The autonomous service delivery robot Aura delivers bottled water, towels, toiletries, and amenities to guest rooms and mingles with guests at M Social, according to Hong Leong Group. The robot can operate and ride in elevators, navigate its way to a guest door, let them know that a delivery has arrived, then open its lid for guests when they answer the door. The company added in the press release that Aura, the first such robot in the region, has been integrated with various subsystems in the hotel such as the networks, elevators and telephone systems. 4. Addressing with innovation the serious manpower shortage in the hospitality sector, M Social was named DX Leader for Operational Transformation in Singapore and DX Leader for Operational Transformation in the region, Hong Leong Group said. The hotel is part of Millennium and Copthorne Hotels, the London-listed hotel arm of Hong Leong Group. Millennium Hotels and Resorts Vice President of Operations in Singapore, Lee Richards, said Aura will be rolled out in the hotel group's other Singapore hotels next year. These include Grand Copthorne Waterfront, M Hotel, Orchard Hotel, Copthorne Kings and Studio M. Never. Automated stuff, yes, but I've never seen this before. Yeah. Because they say there's a serious manpower shortage. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. But because um because lately if there's short of manpower then they'll just bring in more people like foreigners to come into our country and then help out. Because our country is not also like reproducing, right? So I think it's not a bad idea. Mm, yeah, in some way. A tow truck caught fire as it was pulling a Singapore Airlines Boeing 777-200 to a departure gate at Singapore Changi Airport at around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, November 29. There were no passengers on board the aircraft at the time, SIA's spokesman told the Straits Times. The Straits Times understands that the plane was being moved from a remote parking bay to Terminal 3 for a flight. It was crossing the bridge above Airport Boulevard Road when the tow truck caught fire. A member of the towing crew, who was in the cockpit at the time, was evacuated via an emergency slide. There were no injuries and the fire was put out by Airport Emergency Services, he said. The aircraft was originally scheduled to operate as SQ890 to Hong Kong. Following a change of aircraft, the flight departed at 7:48 with a delay of 13 minutes. SIA said it was working closely with the authorities as well as SIA Engineering Company to investigate the accident. A video and photos obtained by the Straits Times showed a black patch near the nose of the plane. Plane faulty? No, never. Yeah, like once or twice. Never. Have you? Serious? No lah. Hmm. Sad life. That's unlucky.